All right, pansexual Florida teacher canned for discussing orientation with students. A Florida teacher claims she was fired for discussing her pansexual status with middle school students, whom she then asked to draw pictures representing their own sexual orientations. This is the latest in the right-wing bullshit outrage brigade, the made-up social justice garbage that they're doing. They're trying to, the kids, these fucking cringe-lord wannabe social justice warriors just crying and whining. Oh, someone mentioned pansexuality to my fucking 13-year-old. No! So let's read more. Cape Coral art instructor Casey Scott said her students were curious. Now keep in mind, this is an art class. Keep that in mind. That is an important part. This isn't like it's math class or history class and the teacher comes in and says, all right, everyone, I want you to draw flags. It's not fucking science class, okay? It's art class. It's fucking art class. That's why they're drawing flags in fucking art class. You know, it's fucking art. Anyway, all right. Said her students were curious about her sexual orientation, and she explained to them that she was pansexual during a lesson in March. A discussion happened in class, and because of that, now I'm fired, Scott told the outlet. But wait a second. Don't the goddamn Don't Say Gay fucking freak show, social justice freaks, don't they say it's only K through 3? Why are you talking about sex in front of 3-year-olds or 3rd graders or whatever is what they're saying, right? Sex in front of my 9-year-old! Ah, sex! Right, but I thought that was only K through 3, and now we're saying you got fired for talking about pansexuality in middle school? Huh. It's almost like they were lying. It's almost like the right-wing neo-fascists were lying when they said that the Don't Say Gay bill was only about K through 3. Isn't that interesting? The right wing, the fascists, lying? Wow. That's totally shocking. Okay, so you're telling me right-wing politicians said one thing while secretly meaning, like, the opposite? Or, like, whoa. Okay, so pansexual refers to someone who is attracted to all categories of people regardless of their sex, gender identity, or sexual orientation. Hashtag pansexual pride. If you're not pansexual, you're doing it wrong. Let's be honest. Let's be real. All right. Scott, who's married to a man, said the kids at Trafalgar Middle School then created flags representing their own sexuality and gender identities ranging from transgender and non-binary to gay. The first-year teacher posted their creations to her classroom door before administrators told her to take them down. They said it would be in the best interest if I got rid of them now. So let me get this straight. So, she is married to a man in a heterosexual marriage, but she's also attracted to people that aren't men, and therefore she has to be banned from teaching? What? What? Like, I mean, like, I'm sorry, but, like, this is silly. Scott said she crumpled up pictures and put them in the trash. Lee School District. I would have kept them. I keep them in a folder, you know. It's a memory, but that's just me. Lee School District officials said some students understood her explanation of her sexuality while others were left confused, the local NBC affiliate reported. The subject matter angered some parents and students who wrote to administrators to voice their displeasure. Yo, I wish I was in fucking middle school in Florida right now. I wish. Like, my teacher looks at me funny. I'm going to tell my mom that my teacher is gay. And I'm going to tell the fucking principal, yeah, this teacher's gay. And then they're just going to get fired. Right? A teacher, like, calls on me and then, like, you know, says that I got an answer wrong, gives me a B on a test. Fuck you. You're gay now. And I'm going to tell everyone at school you're gay and you're going to lose your job. Because that's essentially what this is, right? Like, any student can just call a school administrator anonymously, say, oh, by the way, this person's gay. I heard it. Don't ask for any proof, but they're gay. Trust me. Like, what the fuck? Like, I mean, this shit's crazy, but it's 2022. And, like, that's the thing, is people really don't get it. For some reason, I think my audience understands a little bit. But like, we don't live in a democracy. We live in a Christian neo-fascist oligarchy, a corporate-controlled neo-fascist Christian supremacist shithole country. That's what we live in. This idea that we live in a democracy, I don't know who sold you that. I don't know why they sold you that. But we have never lived in a democracy in this country. This country has always been a white supremacist, neo-fascist, Christian supremacist project of hate and global imperialism. That's all it is. This isn't new. It's not like, oh, the last couple of years, the right wing really started going crazy. They've always been crazy. It's just you weren't paying the fuck attention because you're a fucking loser. Anyway, let's keep going. Scott, who was working on a probationary basis and not part of the teachers union, was eventually told not to return to campus and that her contract was being terminated. District officials attributed her dismissal to her not following the curriculum, the outlet reported. The firing came just days before Governor Ron DeSantis banned instruction related to gender identity or sexual orientation for kids in kindergarten through 4th grade. Backers of the Parents' Rights Bill argue that sexual subject matter is inappropriate for young children and the law shields them and their parents. But this is middle school. This is 8th fucking grade. So in the New York Post article, they say, oh yeah, the bill that wasn't even enacted yet when this happened only covers K through 4. But this is 8th grade. Like, so what? Like, hey, I'm just going to let everyone know. And now maybe some people deserve to be going to jail for this, but I had sexual education in 5th grade. So you're telling me sexual education is in 5th grade, but in 8th grade, you can't draw a flag that regards your sexual orientation? So you can learn about sex in 5th grade. That's great. Only heterosexual sex for the, purpose of procreation, of course. But 3 years later, all mention of sex is banned. Make it make sense. Does anyone know, like, okay, so 5th grade, you're learning about all kinds of fucking. 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, fucking is banned. There's no such thing. Sex doesn't exist. It's all fake. Like, that's what we're teaching our children now? I can't imagine being a kid. One, having unfettered access to the internet. Like, every kid has a cell phone, right? So you can just look up anything. Kids these days have, like, I'm sure kids are learning about sex when they're, like, way too young. I don't know, like I have read, like, I don't know, like the internet. Like, I don't know, like, do parents actually, like, monitor the internet for their kids? I doubt it, right? And if you have unfettered access to the internet when you're fucking 10 years old, you're probably going to stumble upon sex. I'm just saying, like, that's just, it's on the internet. It's fucking everywhere, right? So all these kids probably know all about this stuff anyway, and those that don't, doesn't really matter to them, right? This isn't like fucking 1874, right? Like, I mean, let's be honest here. The idea that you're going to shield people from knowing what sex is for the first 15 years of their life, it's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You're not going to do it. It's you might as well put all that energy into, like, stopping the sun from crashing into Earth, right? Because, like, I don't know, like, at least that's ostensibly a little bit more important sounding. Critics dub the legislation the Don't Say Gay bill and assert that it fosters hostility toward the LGBTQ community. Lee Schools District officially did not immediately return a call for comment. This shit's gross, what these people are doing. I mean, it's like, now again, I'm drinking at 10:30 in the morning, so factor that into the following, but like seriously, try to put yourself in the mind of a Christian white supremacist neo-fascist loser lunatic. Like, in their world, they live in an alternate universe. They live in their own world. Okay, so I really need people to understand that. They don't live in the world that we live in. They might share the same, like, 3-dimensional space with us in some way, but they do not live in the same universe that we do. I'm going to be very, like, they, in their world, right, the right has constructed a reality for these people where their mission in life is to go around and be the social justice warrior to save their children. Like in their universe, they're like the main character in like some sort of like cartoon show where they're going around and like going to schools and calling in complaints to save their kids from learning about sex. Like in their mind, like if a kid learns what sex is before the age of 30, then they're going to immediately spontaneously combust, and we got to save our children, right? They're going to immediately explode if they learn what sex is in the first 50 years of their life on Earth. And they genuinely dedicate their lives to this. They genuinely, right, they go on Facebook all day. They're in these, like, groups on Facebook where they plot, like, oh, my kid said that someone in that school talked about that they knew a gay person once in the 1989s, and then that might make them gay. So they talked to someone who's gay 40 years ago, and now they might give our kids the gay. So let's get them banned, right? Like, that's what that's what they do. Like, have you ever, like, there's, like, been reports and in like, articles about these Facebook groups, but they literally congregate and they live in their own bubble, and all of their friends go like, I hate the gays, they're grooming our kids, the goddamn gays, right? That's what they absorb that all day, every day. Like, when you get notifications on your phone, you know how, like, default notifications work, right? You join a group, and then immediately you're bombarded every time someone in the group says something, you get a fucking notification, right? Now, I just turn that shit off. But imagine you're like 40 years old, 50 years old, you're a little bit of a dumbass, right? And you don't know how to disable notifications. You join a Facebook group, right? Every time you open your phone, you have all the notifications, you catch up on your my son's teacher came out as someone who had maybe one time kissed a girl once, and now we gotta ban her. And then then you go in, you seethe and rage, right? And you call the school, and it's like, this is how they fucking communicate. They literally think that they are the main characters and that they're saving a whole generation of children from something. Like, I don't know what, like, okay, so someone learns about sex before the age of 69, and then they spontaneously combust. But not only do they spontaneously combust, but the fire that is a result of their spontaneous combustion is then going to burn the whole planet, except it's not going to be related to climate change, because that's not real, right? So they're going to spontaneously combust and set, like, a forest fire, but then secretly, then Antifa's going to come in and set the forest fire. Like, all these people believe in all these fantasy worlds. But they do. They genuinely believe in it. Like, I need you to understand, like, it's real to them. It is real to them. Like, if anyone in my chat has, like, fucking, like, any, like phobia, like, of, like, bugs or whatever, like, I'm afraid of bugs. I think bugs are fucking horrifying. Okay? If I see, like, a cockroach, I freak out. Okay? So, now imagine, when they hear anything related to gay people, right? Again, that's why it's called homophobia. They freak the fuck out. Right? They freak the fuck out. When they hear, oh shit. Did someone say the word gay? Like, they've got like a fucking, like their spider senses start tingling. Someone utters the word gay in like a 40-mile radius. They start freaking the fuck out. They have a panic attack. They wake up in a ditch like 3 days later, and like, they're trying to remember, what was I doing? Oh, right, I went to every middle school and I fired every teacher. And it's like, you know what? But to them, it's real. Like, I need people to understand. They actually, genuinely think that gay people being alive is going to kill them, their kids, and destroy the whole world. I don't know how anyone could be that stupid, but they do. This is how they behave. This is how they act. And guess what? They've got power everywhere, all across the country. These are the people in charge. Because the non-insane people, they don't give a fuck. They don't care. You think straight people give a fuck about any of this? I'm sure some of them do, and they're great. You think cisgender people broadly give a flying fuck about trans rights? No, they don't. No, they don't. Let's be honest, like percentage-wise, what's the amount of people that are cisgender that give even a remote fuck about the trans genocide going on in this country? And then, follow-up question, how many of them are going to do anything about it? Like, someone might go like, oh, wow, that's really silly. I wish they wouldn't do that. Are they going to do anything? Are they going to protest? Are they going to become politically active? Are they going to vote for candidates that are going to go against that? Like, let's be honest. Let's be real. Let's be honest about this. So let's say about half of cisgender people even give a fuck about trans rights. What percentage of that amount of cisgender people are going to do anything? Are they going to do anything? Maybe 5, if you're lucky, percent that are going to do anything at all. What amount of straight people are going to do fucking anything for gay rights in this country? 2%, 3% are going to do anything at all? No one fucking cares. You know, it's that statement, like, you know, with the fucking first they came for whatever and all that, and then they came for me and no one was left. That's just literally true. We're watching it happen. Right? Most people don't give a fuck until it's their group or them that are on the chopping block. And that's it. I'm ranting and raving now, but I mean, this shit really infuriates me. This shit infuriates the fuck out of me, right? Because it's like, for cisgender people, for straight people, right? This is just like a news story. This is like some sort of outside. I finished reading the news story and I closed the tab and my life is back to normal. But like, for me, and for people like me, and I'm sure a lot of people that watch my show are queer folks, right? Like, this is just like, yep, another step closer to them knocking on my door and throwing me in a steel cage. One more step closer. I mean, they're already throwing parents in steel cages for having transgender kids in the state of Texas. Multiple parents have had charges brought against them for just having a trans kid who went to the doctor once. That's it. So, in a lot of states, we're already there. Right? But no one gives a fuck. No one cares at all. My point, Hook, to respond, lots of cis peeps fought hard as hell for the gay brothers and sisters, but yeah, the Bible Belt states the percent is low. I'm not saying that cis people have never fought for trans rights, but what I'm saying is the overall percentage is too low. That's what I'm saying. Where like the 5 to 10% that might be like hardcore trans rights activists that aren't necessarily trans themselves, like those are the greatest people in the world, right? Like, I'm not trying to insult them, but what I'm saying is that most people that might pretend to care don't actually do anything. It's the same thing that we're seeing with Roe v. Wade. Is anyone going to do anything? Oh, abortion rights, gone. I mean, first of all, well, let me do a separate segment on Roe v. Wade.